Potter's Journal 2019. It was so great having Eddie Galler in the studio last week. Being a small channel, it meant so much getting the gift of the clay and the sieve, but even more the visit and being able to talk shop. He stuck around for Kiln opening. Here's a look back at that. Okay, so how do you do these things?
No, I mean, I went and bought typeset.
Okay.
And I put in, like, I've had some that I've done with people's names on it.
Yeah.
And that way, I use the typeset and run it across there.
Yeah, I had these printed back, or
yeah.
made back in the 80s. Well, they're the rubber stamps.
Yeah, they're rubber stamps.
Right, and they nowadays cost $20.
Yeah.
And people ask you, $25 for a mug? Well, look at this. And then people are making a big deal out of something that is...
They shouldn't.
That is what is it, computer three-dimensional printed stamps because of the price of the equipment? Well, wait a minute.
Well,
our wheel costs $700. Our kilns cost,
yeah,
exactly.
More than that.
Our kilns cost $3,000 to $4,000.
I mean, you go, you get a Brent wheel. Yeah, Brent wheel, a new one.
Okay, you know what? I got mine in '83. I got a new Brent wheel. Okay.
And if you get a CXC,
yeah,
that's a classic, and you're looking at $1,500 to $1,800.
Okay.
Then
I got mine in 1980 something when it was $750. So I'm still living back then.
Yeah.
And I find too that if you buy stuff at the farm market, if you're getting food or something, get it from the old people because they remembered when a Coca-Cola didn't cost $500 or $5 when it cost 50 cents. Okay, let's see what's in here. You know what? Since I'm doing a show, I've got a show coming up. Oh, these are the ones from the kick wheel.
Yeah.
Last winter. And I was very careful not to make any mistakes glazing them because I've been doing too much experimenting. And I realized, okay, I've got something that works. I got to do it.
Well, you did a nice job.
Well, I actually put the wrong glaze on the second coat. So I re-dipped it with the sea mist over the... over the Albany slip glaze. Okay. And they came out good because, oh no, I didn't lose any of those. And you know, here's why I can't and don't, I bisque my stuff. The big stuff like this, you have to bisque it. You know, otherwise, if it absorbs the glaze too much in one place and not in the other, it cracks. Well. And it's hard to get something like this. In fact, my bucket wasn't even big enough for this, and I did a sloppy jobs on glazing it. So, if I'm going to do big stuff, I mean,
I've done it both ways.
Yeah.
I've done it, bisquing, and then I've done where I did the one spiring, just like what Simon Leach does, and because after going to his workshop and everything.
It works out good on, something a mug size.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing about that big one, I've been putting these tabs underneath it.
Yep.
Because, you don't keep up on the shelves the way you should, and it gets caught maybe on a bit of something, and...
I saw you when you was making tiles in one of your videos. I saw you where you was making tiles. I make tiles, but I don't bisque it, I don't glaze it, I don't, I fire it, and then after I fired them, I'll use some of those for putting on some of my pieces due to the fact that way if I do any glazing on the bottom, I mean, even if the glaze gets on the bottom, I wipe it off, I put it on there because I don't want it stuck to my shelf. I mean, I want to protect it as much as possible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't get a full 6. The 6 really didn't move, and the Albany on the bottom of that. On the refire, it was fine because it was already fired, but there. And I think it may be that my kiln sitter needs adjusted.
Right.
And pie plates, I used those tabs again because to get my layers and make an efficient firing, I needed like just a little bit of clearance. That was so close. I was afraid that it was going to expand and hit the roof.
Yep.
And But yeah, I'd like to. That's the towel. These were for under berry colanders.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do a pie plate, I need a bowl to sit on either side of it. So this is great, Eddies Pottery from Illinois. And you know what? Since I haven't done this for a while, I did put a kiln or cone on every shelf.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here, glaze job. I put the glaze in, and you could see where I poured it out.
Right.
That I didn't. I got it around the whole way, but I got it thick here, and it's a little bit thin on the other side.
It turned out real nice, though.
So yeah, a little sloppy.
No. You're hard on yourself. You're hard on yourself.
Well, I'm starting to think about getting back into shows, and I'm thinking about with people that it's not necessarily potters who buy this stuff. That you know, we understand that and look for irregularities.
Yeah.
That a lot of the stuff that I buy. You know, that I got a Steve Booten piece with the crawl on the inside, and you know, paid I don't know what for it, 80 pounds if I remember right.
Yeah.
And then the next day at a show, somebody's looking at mine with a crawl somewhere on it, and is this good? Can you use it? Okay. And you know what? On the bottom, it's more of these mugs, but I found out the first time I filled it with one side of the kiln with that. And the other side of the kiln, and I couldn't. I thought, oh, you need to get more in here.
This one here, it turned out nice.
Yeah.
I like that glaze color.
You know what? That's a new one I got this year. The medium cork from Standard.
Yeah.
Which,
that turned out really nice.
They're only 20 minutes from. Well, it may be a half an hour drive.
Yeah.
But if I'm going into Pittsburgh, I can stop on the way to or from. But I'm careful not to go there more than once or twice a year because you know there's what you need.
And then what you want.
And then, so the first 2 years I just got what I needed. This year I did get a little bit of what I wanted.
Yeah.
And but after loading it the first time, I took everything out and reloaded the bottom shelf and stacked them like this so they could get closer together.
Yeah.
And I got a lot more in there.
Yeah.
And I was glazing my lids separate.
Really?
And not waxing, because all this business was waxing the top and occasionally losing one that gets stuck. But you know, they slide around and they slip out. That helps the you know, rough surface helps to hold them in a little bit.
Well, it's got a nice, really nice blue tint to it.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done the garlic jars, a demo on the garlic jars. The other thing I found out is that I have an easier job selling the seconds, the ugly pots, because I figure rather than carry them around to 20 shows, I put them a little bit less, so I've been selling the ugly pots faster than the good ones. So, and if those didn't have quite, I'm thinking I should make a form that's not as complicated, or so I got two patterns that I do a lot of. This one that's kind of a random cloud-like or wavy or whatever, and this one with the wavy thing. And that's pretty much from, you know, like Pennsylvania red slipware. And I noticed it in Clyde Bowen's stuff too, which I was kind of staying away from it, thinking it's
running out of places to put it, Jeff. Running out of places to put it.
So how big's your kiln? You probably got a kiln bigger than this.
I could put that one in mine.
Yeah.
I have I've got an even heat, fully digital.
Okay.
It's a big one. I'm trying to think of what size it is. It's probably the largest one they make without being oblong. You know, like what your large one is here.
Well, I think. Oh, okay. I would be afraid to death of a digital kiln.
Oh no, I was at first because you know I was trained and that's how I was schooled, was with with using a kiln sitter.
See, I don't know. I'd be afraid to death without a kiln sitter. What shuts it up?
Well, when the first time that I operated it, I even went back online and went to Even Heat to watch what they do with their kiln sitter, or their how you program it, and now it's just like, old school to me. Yeah. I mean, you just go in and punch what category you want, what cone you want, and and then hey, you're done. So.
Because I may be falling back on my art to survive with a couple bad years in the nursery. So I've got one big show and 2 little ones lined up this fall. If it goes well, I might do more next summer. I've been watching for a kiln on eBay or something, but haven't come up with something. I'm actually considering, I'm not going to stop doing this, but getting a new kiln with new elements that are going to be new from the start.
I mean, that's what I did. I went to eBay, and I found my kiln in Minnesota. I went to and actually, the thing was they had it listed in the wrong place.
Oh,
and
okay.
So they didn't have it listed right, and I pretty much got almost a new kiln for. Well, it was less than $500.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's great having you here to talk about this. I watched for this one on eBay. Was it the batteries, or did I hit the off button? This little kiln, I waited for 3 years to show up, and it's the same as this little kiln. And what I really need is, well, not something that big, but this 16 cubic foot oval is done. And the price of elements and the thought of me redoing it, I'd rather just wait for a used one to show up. And I didn't catch any more of our visit, but since it's now, a week later, I do have, what's in the kiln today, the first test of the Eddies Illinois Blue Clay. Okay, here it is. Just a little test. And I guess something came out of it and left a mark on the back of this towel. And this was cone 04. And I put 10 little marks up on there, so we will put the roller up. And I am going to say we've got about I'm going to say it looks like a 15% shrinkage rate. So maybe this could be earthenware. You know what? It's a little stickier, so it's not quite. It's still a lot more porous than when I used to be doing redware. So it can go up higher than probably 04. But I'm probably going to use it in glaze or slip. He moved on, and I was such a surprise to see his visit to Millheim, PA, and Simon Leach's video. I didn't expect to see that, so I think, like most of you, I'll be waiting to see what Simon does with the blue clay. And after that, Eddie made it up to New England and Maine for the lobster. I hope the lobster was good, Eddie. Okay, stop back, and maybe we'll get the news on that.